No, hi everyone. My name is Emmanuel Mudau, the founder of Matuba Genetics. Today I want us to talk a little bit about adaptability. I see a lot of people are very inspired and they are interested in starting the issue of farming. Some they just like how we are doing things here, and then they are inspired, they want to start. So there is this word adaptability. Maybe you guys don't understand it very well, so I want to talk more about adaptability. When you buy new animals from me or from any other farmer, regardless of the genetics, either it's good genetics or poor genetics, but you must understand that your animal must adapt to your area. So a lot of people, they don't know what type of animals must they buy when they want to start farming. Some they buy an old animals, some they buy young animals, depending on their preference, because buying your animals is your choice to when you want to start to farm. But what I want to tell you is each and every animal that you are buying, it's not your animal. If you buy the animals today, they must first come to your farm, to your new farm, or where you are going to practice your farming. Either it's backyard, you've got some plot, or you've got a big farm. It doesn't matter. But for as long as your animal is changing environment from this environment to one another, you must always know that your animals must adapt to the new environment so that they perform. You can buy animals and think like you will be like Matuba Genetics. Matuba Genetics has been existing for so many years, and those animals, they were there for many years. Some they were born there on that farm. Whether you've got good experience or you don't have good experience, but the issue of adapting, the issue of buying new animals into your farm, it's something else. It does not require any experience. The experience, yes, can come maybe on the medication, the feeding, and all those things. But nature must select you good animals that will perform. So you must always put in mind that when you buy new animals, they must first go through all the diseases that you've got in your area, and then they build immunity and resistance against all the diseases that are in your area, and then they adapt to that. And then after that, your animals must adapt to nutrition, because you must remember where your animals are coming from is not the food that the animal was eating in the area where you bought them. It's not the same as your area. So maybe the animal is coming from a field, now it's coming to a sweet field, or it's coming from a sweet field, now it's coming from to the sour field. So the animal needs to adapt to that new grazing and all those things, the new field, and then they can go on. And then the other thing is, even the genetics, for your animals to give you good lambs, the genetics must settle to the new area so that they can perform in that area. That's why you will see at some point you can buy maybe 10 ewes or 20 ewes and one ram, and then when you start farming there, after a year, others are lambing and the lambs are growing very fast, and then others, the lambs are not growing very fast. So what is the reason of that? It's the genetics. Some they are still struggling to adapt. Then we must give them some time. So the issue of your animals adapting to your area, it is very, very important. You must understand this process. And the other thing is, if you are buying your animal from a non-hot water area to a hot water area, even that one, you need to understand that when you go to a hot water area, you will need to block your animals so that you help them to adjust and to adapt to a new hot water environment or hot water area. So if you just take them from a hot water area, non-hot water area, and to your hot water area, and then you don't block them, then you are going to have a problem. They are going to die. And the other thing that you need to understand is, when you buy your animals, maybe you buy your goats when they are pregnant, the chances of them aborting when they are adapting to a new environment are very high. When the animals are aborting on their first on their new home, it is not a problem. It is not a taboo. It is not a sin. That thing, it happens because they don't adapt like sheep. You can buy 10 sheep and 10 goats, and then you put them in a same area. You bought them pregnant. You will see the sheep will lamb and raise their lambs, but the goats, when they are adapting, each and any struggle that they face, the first thing that they are going to do is to abort the lambs. And then that thing, it does not mean that your animals, they've got bad genetics or any other thing bad about them. So the issue of adaptability, it is very, very important that you need to understand. Farming is not a quick scheme of making money overnight. You must go through the processes. Your animals, you must buy them, and then you introduce them to new feed. They adapt to the environment. Then that's where, after almost maybe 12 months, you can say, no, I've got animals that are functional efficiency. But the first thing that the animals must do when they when they get to their new home is to adapt to their new environment. And then that's when you can call them yours. And the other thing that you must understand is, there are things that are beyond our control during the adaptability period. Natural selection. Nature will always select the best animals for you. You can buy an animal that was performing good on my farm, and then when you take that animal to your farm, the first thing that the animal do at your farm, they fail to adapt and then they die. But they were performing at my farm. So which means nature selected them. They are not the best for that environment. So that happens. It's part of farming. So that is beyond our control. We can't do anything. Nature must always select the best for us. You will see some, when you buy your animals, some they will require medications, but some they will just adapt easily without even a help of medications or vaccines. Then which means they are good. The nature selected them for you. So those are the best ones that you must focus on them and move on with them. So when you start this thing of farming, the word adaptability, or the issue of the animals adapting to this area and all those things, you must first put that in your mind, that when I'm buying these animals, they are still going to a process of adapting to my new environment. Then after that, that's where we are going to call them ours, because they've already adapted to our environment. Thank you, everyone. I hope and I wish you guys a happy farming. Thanks.